We move now to our second suite of awards, second category of awards, and that is the 2017 Young Australian Christian Writers Award. This one is awarded annually as well for an unpublished manuscript by an Australian under the age of 30. The award carries a prize of $2,500 for the winning author, and tonight we'll be awarding the first and second prizes in this category. And now, you probably have guessed it, a reading from the manuscript that has won the first prize in the 2017 Young Australian Christian Writer Award.
You see, it wasn't just white people who were ashamed of them babies. Mum was shaming her family too. What was she supposed to do, I railed. I don't know. Doreen swatted angrily at her tears. She was supposed to not get pregnant. Wynne wheezed sympathetically. Bloody men, she said helpfully. How many babies did your mom have, Doreen? I tried a fresh tactic. 5 by the time they got us. 5 of us little brown halfies. Half-caste, they'd call us. She put her tissue over her mouth and ducked her head down in shame. What was your mum's name? I suddenly realized that I'd written no names down. She's dead, Doreen said abruptly. Wynne clicked her tongue at my cultural gaffe. We do not speak the name of our dead. We do not keep their picture. We let their spirit move on. I'm sorry. I suddenly understood why we had warnings on TV, preempting Aboriginal names being mentioned or images shown. Can you tell me about the 5 kids then? There was Sonny, then me, then Charlie, then Nellie, then Biddy was the baby. That was when they got us, mind. I don't know, but Mum had a handful more after us. I penciled the 5 in, then left a gap with a question mark after Biddy. I wasn't brave enough to ask the inevitable next question. Wynne leaned forward over her tummy and kindly asked it instead. How'd they get you, love? Oh, Doreen threw her back head and started to wail. It was awful. I'll never forget that day if I live to be 100. She wrapped her arms around herself and rocked back and forth as she wailed. I looked at Wynne helplessly. She heaved herself out of the maroon walker and waddled over to the lounge, where she sunk down next to Doreen and wrapped an arm around her heaving shoulders. Hush now. You're safe now, love. They can't get you anymore. Hush now. It's too late, Doreen cried. They already have. They got me. They got my babies and they got their babies. They can't get any more because there's nothing more they can rip out of my arms. They're empty.
Those extraordinary words were from a manuscript called The Bidura Effect by Erin George. Erin, would you like to come up, please? You have friends. Congratulations. Thank you. Erin, this is what the judges had to say about The Bidura Effect. The attitudes, faith and identity of a young social worker are transformed by his relationship with an elderly, housebound Aboriginal woman. Her tragic story is compelling and confronting. This is skillful and high-impact writing. Congratulations, Erin George.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm shaking, so just let me... Thank you for the very great honour of awarding me this place at the Sparklit Young Australian Christian Writers Award. Thank you to Isabel for suggesting that I enter in the first place, for mentoring me and for flying me down tonight so that I could be here. You live such a big, bold life and you inspire those around you to be brave and to live lives that are worth writing about. Thank you to Lauren for teaching me the art of Bible storytelling, and to Miriam, winner of last year's award, for your kindness in using words to build others up, to celebrate our shared humanity and the hope that we have in Christ. It is the Word who took on flesh, who came down to walk with us, that I live and write for. It is only through reading his story that I know he created us for himself and crowned humanity with such glory that we dare come before the throne of the Father through the blood of the Son and in the power of his Spirit. He's made us for ourselves, and our souls are restless until we realise more than this broken existence has to offer. I don't know you all here tonight, but I know that I can be tempted to be proud of the freedom in our great nation. It feels free to me. I can worship freely here without fear of persecution, and I'm free to pursue the life that I want. It's easy to say that the walls are being built out there, that out there hatred and terrorism have won. But I wrote this piece because that's simply not true. And in our own backyard, our First Peoples stand as second-rate citizens. The gap between black and white in Australia feels as wide as it has ever been. The cycles of poverty our First Peoples are locked into are more than educational or financial, they're relational. I work with families who are still reeling from the effects of the stolen generation. I wrote this piece about a grandmother whose children were stolen from her arms, whose grandchildren are in care. And in reality, these children are being chased down the back streets of Redfern in Sydney, in Melbourne CBD. They grow up in a very different Australia to the one that I am so proud of. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Our lives begin to end the day we are silent about things that matter." It's for freedom that Christ has set us free. So let us stand firm in this freedom and ride out against the yoke of slavery our nation has placed on its First Peoples. We do not submit and we will not stand silently by. So thank you to Michael Colley, to those at Sparklit who know that where the gospel is preached, we need words, we need books. We need words to cry out because we follow the word, the way, the truth and the life. And he is our only hope.
And tonight, to present Erin with the award is the wonderful Coralie Buchanan, who won this very award 10 years ago. So she's celebrating a milestone as well. Thank you so much, Coralie. Round of applause.